Thank you for having me. Thanks for the invitation and the kind, sweet words, Amy. I think this gospel passage is second only to the divorce passage, which is the one that comes next to it in terms of why does God talk to us about this? Why is Jesus teaching us this? And I went and looked and I thought, well, maybe it's one of those things that only exists in the Matthew gospel, and it doesn't actually even exist, this parable of the unforgiving servant. And guess what? It's true. This only exists in Matthew. And even though it is still very instructive. So I'm going to preach on forgiveness to this morning. And first of all, I would love to sing with you one more time, because singing tends to get us out of our heads, and I don't want to be in my head to preach about forgiveness because it might not be the right place to be. So Louise and Leo and Anne and I are going to sing Zoom Chant number 1 by Beth Norton, who lives in Concord, Massachusetts. And it goes like this. Look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes.
Listen to my voice.
Listen to my voice.
I am with you.
I am with you.
In this place.
In this place.
Look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes.
Listen to my voice.
Listen to my voice.
I am with you.
I am with you.
In this place.
In this place.
Look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes.
Listen to my voice.
Listen to my voice.
I am with you.
I am with you.
In this place.
In this place.
In this place. This place.
In this place.
So, forgiveness. I'll forgive you. Or how about, if you forgive me, I'll forgive you. This is kind of what we ask every week. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Which is it kind of goes both ways. Who goes first? And is it a transactional thing, like it seems in Matthew's gospel? I'm not so sure it is. But I think that we have to be people who aren't of this world to see that it doesn't have to be transactional. Forgiveness takes courage. And there's another passage that talks about the forgiveness part of this, and it says, it's from Luke, and it says, then Peter came and said to him, Lord, if another member of the church sins against me, how often should I forgive? As many as 7 times? Jesus said to him, not 7 times, but I tell you 77 times, right? It says, if your brother sins, rebuke him. And if he repents, forgive him. And if he sins against you 7 times in a day and turns to you 7 times and says, I repent, you must forgive him. That's the Luke part. Now, 7 times in a day strikes me as an awful lot to ask. How many times do I have to forgive you for the same damn thing, right? Forgiveness, it's endless. Just endlessly forgive people. That requires not just courage, but faith that it actually will have a difference at some point, maybe 400 years after the fact. Or what? You may become a little more compassionate. I try to be compassionate. I try to love God. I try to love my neighbor as myself, and I try to walk in compassion. But when the going gets tough, I find myself going right to judgment instead of forgiveness. Am I the only one? Raise your hands if you're here. Yes, right? I know you're out there. And why is it that we can forgive some people? I know I can forgive some people almost anything, but with others, I'm pretty tight with the forgiveness. Take a minute to wonder about that. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you ask yourself, why can I forgive some people yet not others? Who pops up for you? What situation pops up for you? It's my opinion that forgiveness really does take courage, and listening to people outside our heads and practice. And I think that forgiveness is best practiced in community, because sometimes we need help to remove ourselves from the center of our mind's attention, right? Or the center of the conversation, whatever it may be. And we need our community, and sometimes the whole village, to help us to see what's really going on in a situation. I can be mad at the police. I can be mad at wealthy industrialists and technocrats. Or I can be really cranky. You see the difference there, how I switched that? The police actually are just a part of a system. They are supporting the system. They have about as much control over the system as we do, which means that they benefit from it, so they choose not to change it. But some of them do. There are thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of community police people out there. And they actually do serve and protect us. But then, those aren't the people we hold up. We hold up the wealthy technocrats and the people who make lots and lots of money. And we prop up a system because we think we have no power. And in some cases, we have no power because we have no money to affect the changes to the system, right? So here we go. Forgiveness. How do we forgive the technocrats, the industrialists, the robber barons, the police, the people who own the police, the people who began the police as protection for their stuff? How do we come together in community and forgive people Do you remember back when apartheid fell and there was reconciliation, truth and reconciliation happened? That was not easy. It was scary. Desmond Tutu was in on that. There were so many thousands and thousands of people that were required to do small things in order to move the behemoth of apartheid to the side. And the most important thing to remember is that it takes all of us doing our own inner work, because it's easy to lash out at people, right? And that's what we tend to do. We lash out. But talking about forgiveness, forgiveness transcends even revolution. And Walter Wink, in his book, Engaging the Powers, he reminds us that revolution doesn't go far enough. Think about that. Revolution doesn't go far enough because it changes the rulers, but it doesn't change the rules. And what we need in this time are people who can come together and work from the ground up to change the rules. When the old assumptions and the old values don't shift, we're still stuck in a system of domination, right? The poor are still with us. The rich still make money on the backs of the workers. And can somebody please remind me why housing and healthcare are still tied to our income? And why I'm seeing long, long lines at food banks for the first time in my life? And the wealthy use their money and sometimes their guns to get out of town and hide out from the grim realities that lots of us face every day. I could tell you how bad those people are. I could tell you how much we need change. But guess what? We are the change we seek. And until we look into one another's eyes and truly see the human, nothing will change. But it's scary to look into one another's eyes, right? Because what look will I get back? Some cultures don't look directly into one another's eyes. I don't know whose idea it was to start it, but it's thought of in some places as being a sign of respect. A lot of Black people I know don't look in people's eyes directly. There's always that deferent aversion of the gaze. And sometimes I wonder, why is that? Is it leftover trauma? Is it that they think I'm nuts? I have no idea. And most of what goes on in the world, I have no idea about. And I think probably you're in the same boat. Forgiveness. It's very difficult. And it starts at home. The things that I haven't done in my lifetime to help, where I probably could have helped if I hadn't been overwhelmed with the thoughts in my head, or the preoccupations of the day, or binge watching some TV show or other, or just being afraid that if I stepped up, no one would see me, or they wouldn't see the me that I would like to present, as opposed to the me that you're getting right now, which is kind of warts and all, right? So I sing, and I try to manage my internal weather through singing. Because once I can manage my internal weather, I can come out and play with you. And maybe we can go out and play with someone else. And maybe we can co-create something beautiful with even more people. And maybe we can leave this domination system behind so that we don't have to throw people in jail. You think that there aren't debtors' prisons, but can I tell you, even the fight for 15 does not get us out of the debtor's prison. The fight for 15 will get a person $600 a week for a 40-hour week. A couple of weeks ago, there was a lot of complaining about how that was too much money. Have you lived anywhere on that kind of money? I don't think the people that were talking about it had any actual experience of that. And I am always afraid that I'm going to be angry with them. And so I try to be kind and to understand and have compassion for the fact that they've been in a place that I have no knowledge of. And somebody once told me, everybody has something. So I try not to judge. But I'm often afraid I'm going to judge. So this is my song. It's actually John Bell's song. And I'd like you to join me with it. We'll sing it 108 times. And I'm going to sing it to remind me that, like Jesus, I am not a child of this world. And that many of you deep down are also not children of this world. And we need each other to remind ourselves that we have a responsibility to do what we're capable of, to walk together in compassion, and to continue to learn to forgive those who trespass against us, as we hope for our trespasses to be forgiven. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger. My love is stronger than your fear. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger, and I have promised to be always near. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger. My love is stronger than your fear. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger, and I have promised to be always near. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger. My love is stronger than your fear. Don't be afraid, my love is stronger, and I have promised to be always near. Don't be afraid, be afraid. My love is stronger, and I have promised to be always near, and I have promised, and I have promised to be always near, and I